Today is June 15th, 2017. We have 1 week before the longest night of the year, and I just thought it would be lovely to take a walk through my garden. Now I'm growing things here. I'm not quite sure what they are, but they look encouraging. Look at those gorgeous little white flowers. I'd say there's several things happening here. One is definitely radishes. One may be beans, and further back it looks like some kind of squash. And this looks like squash too. I have often planted a whole lot of seeds and nothing's happened. So then I plant more seeds. So I'm not quite sure which are the ones that grew, which is exciting. It's sort of like Christmas. You never quite know what you're going to get. Why is that not focusing? Oh yeah. Beautiful. And what about these? Look at those huge leaves. My gosh, it's got to be something. It looks like it might be squash, but on the other hand, I have some spectacular squash in another plot. This area here is my native garden. Everything that grows here, it showed up by itself. So this is my squatting garden. And some of the plants are pretty tall. That's got to be 8 feet tall. Maybe even 9 feet tall. Outside my kitchen window too. No idea what they are. I have a lot of clover everywhere, and as much as I can, I've left little patches of grass in the front yard with lots of clover, which means I get lots of bees and butterflies, and I have 2 very fat rabbits who are just having a blast. And here we are. I don't know what this tree is. It might be an apple tree, which would be very, very nice. And look at these gorgeous daisies. Look at those. They just grew them by themselves. Yeah, gorgeous. All right, well, here we are. This is my carrot patch, but the squirrels and the birds got to my carrot seed very rapidly, and I only have 2 carrots growing there, which is a pity. But here, this is my huge success. Look at this squash and squash blossoms, which you can apparently eat. I learned that the big squash blossoms are male, and they need the males to fertilize the female tiny squash blossoms, so you can eat the male ones. I'm going to leave it for a while because I don't know if anything's been fertilized, and I'd hate to eat the fertilizer before it's done its business. Gorgeous. This, I believe, is broccoli. It's growing very slowly. I planted the broccoli, and then on the other side, beets. About 2 weeks after I planted the squash and the carrots. So it's not doing very well, but it's there. It's certainly going in the right direction. I have all these things that are supposed to scare away the birds, but they don't care. This, nothing happened, just grass. Very great shame. And I have carrots growing in here, and I planted some more potatoes in there yesterday. Here I have beans and 2 more carrot plants, so I will have a yield of exactly 4 carrots if I'm lucky, and there'll probably be pretty stunted. Well, here we are. Look at this. This is spinach. It's growing beautifully. And chives is here. And that looks like more chives there. Here I planted a whole lot of onions, and which look like they're growing beautifully. I can see them. But the squirrels got to it pretty rapidly and dug it all up again. And I don't know how many they left me. And there's an onion. And there's some more parsley. This is supposed to be coriander. I don't know if it will be. And here too. This is haven't had this. I just planted some potato. No, I planted carrots here yesterday, and more potatoes here. Here's some beans, and some more beans. And there's a kale, which I will probably transplant. The kale doesn't seem to do very well in. The kale does not do well in pots. And this is my kale patch, which is just gorgeous. So every day I've been coming out and cutting some kale leaves for my dinner, which is nice. And here we are, more beans. Here, there's all kinds of beans growing here. Soybeans. I haven't quite figured out which are the beans and which are the weeds, but slowly I'm getting there. This here is it's the only peas that survived. I had a whole big pot of peas, but I think they got too hot. I know you can grow peas inside during the winter, and I'm wondering if they don't like heat. So maybe that's the place to grow them, inside during the winter. Now look at this. Is this magnificent? These are potatoes that I planted. I planted them in the middle of March. So for 3 months they've just been going gangbusters. And oh my gosh, I'll have some lovely potatoes there. Over here I planted cantaloupe. And I can also see I planted some kale too. I'm trying to figure out if any of the cantaloupes actually worked. I don't know what's weeds and what isn't, but every day I go and I pull out something that looks like a weed, and hopefully I'll get there. And here's some more. So in June everything's just growing, and I collect water. I harvest rainwater, so I haven't used any town water at all. I'll go slowly. You can see right there. It's one of my rain buckets. And this was especially designed to collect rainwater from the gutters. But I also have 2 large trash cans at the front of the house that do a terrific job of collecting water that comes off the roof. So instead of going down the driveway into the drains, I can actually collect it, which is lovely. Well, that's my back garden. In the front garden I don't have terribly much growing. I planted some potatoes today and some kale in the front. I did have peas, which died. I have my tomatoes are growing. I have about 20 green tomatoes that look coming along beautifully. I also have a bean plant, a whole lot of beans in the front, and of course my lettuce, which I've been eating every day. So I'll do another one in a month, and I'll see what the progress has been.